Hi, welcome to Reading with Bruce. This is the third episode, lesson number 3. If you've seen the first two, then you know what we're about. We're about helping you to learn to read better, or if you don't know how to read at all, to help you to learn to read. Our goal really, and I haven't discussed that, is to take a non-reader from the point of being a non-reader to reading at about a 4th or 5th grade level in about 21 weeks. But that would mean you'd need to watch all 21 episodes, and most importantly, you need to practice every day, at least a little bit. My suggestion, the easiest time to practice with these word lists or with the units or whatever, is while you're watching TV. Most TV shows are just filled with commercials, so while you have the TV set on, have the mute button handy. As soon as the commercials start, hit your mute button, study for the 3 or 4 minutes of commercials, then go back to your show when it comes on. And that's also a good way to study anything where you're working your brain rather vigorously, just in little short study sessions rather than sitting there for an hour or a half an hour and just drudging through it. That's not a good way to study this kind of thing. So use your TV time wisely. I want to thank once again our good friend Jerry Gibson and Kevin, who are doing all the work to record these shows for us. Also want to thank my wife Jane, who's running the Elmo and so forth, and my son Matt, who's going to put these on YouTube in a couple of weeks. Jerry tells me today that after we finish the 4th episode, he'll make a DVD of that, and that'll be available for checkout at the Elkins Randolph Public Library. So if you missed an episode, don't worry about it. Also, with each episode, I review the previous episodes, so if you missed something, not to worry. Main thing is that you're making the effort to try to learn to read. So, I'm going to start off with another one of the best songs ever written today. If you've ever seen the West Virginia Highlanders march through town, you've probably heard it on the pipes and drums, but there are words to it, and the song is called Scotland the Brave. So once again, Jane will put it up there on the Elmo, I'll sing it, and she'll point to the words as we go. So here we go with Scotland the Brave. Hark, when the night is falling, hear, hear, the pipes are calling, loudly and proudly calling down through the glen. There where the hills are sleeping now, feel the blood a-leaping high as the spirit of the old Highland men. Towering in gallant fame, Scotland, my mountain hame, high may your proud standards gloriously wave. Land of my high endeavor, land of the shining river, land of my heart forever, Scotland the brave. Give you a second to get that roll up there. Go ahead and take it up to the top. Okay, ready? High in the misty highlands, out by the purple islands, brave are the hearts that beat beneath Scottish skies. Wild are the winds that meet you, staunch are the friends that greet you, kind is the love that shines from fair maidens' eyes. Need to go back down to the chorus? There we go. Towering in gallant fame, Scotland, a mountain name, high may your proud standards gloriously wave. Land of my endeavor, land of the shining river, land of my heart forever, Scotland the brave. Okay. So we're going to hide those words for a little bit. We will come back to that like we always do. Whoops. Okay. Now it's time for our brain exercises. Again, if you've watched the last 2 shows, you know what we're coming to. And I hope if you watched the first show that you have been doing the crawling backward. That is the single most important exercise you can do. If you didn't see it, it's basically you get on the floor on your hands and knees and you bring, let's say, your left leg back and then your right hand and then your right leg back and your left hand. And just do that for 5 minutes a day. You'd be amazed at what it does for your brain. Okay, do it slowly and gently. The harder it is to do, the more you can benefit from it. But these are ones we do each time before we get set to do our reading. So I'm going to turn away from you now so you can just follow along exactly what I'm doing. First off is lazy eights. Put your left hand out right centered in front of you, shoulder height, and make a circle to the left. And then a circle to the right. And to the left. And to the right. Or for those sophisticated people, counterclockwise and clockwise. And your right hand, do the same thing, counterclockwise and clockwise. It's like an 8 on its side, counterclockwise, clockwise, to the left, and to the right. Then both hands together, starting at the middle, nice, smooth, large circles. Now, I'm only doing this 3 times each, but again, you should practice these every day. Spend about 2 or 3 minutes on each exercise. And that helps to rewire your brain and build new connections to help you to learn to read. And that's it for the lazy 8s. Now we have, I'm going to turn sideways for this, or kind of at an angle, and we're going to do the cross crawl, which is not really crawling, we're actually just walking in place. Again, though we're crossing, I'm going to tap my left knee with my right hand and vice versa. So left hand right, or left knee right hand left, and so forth. And last week, if you saw the second show, this is where I gave you a foreshadowing of today's song. I sang, or I chanted Scotland the Brave while I was doing the cross crawling. Today I'm going to try something different while we do this. I'm going to take you through all 44 units, if I can remember them. I spent quite a few years teaching them, and I did bother to memorize them in alphabetical order. So the A units, there are 10 of them. And they are able, ack, ale, ain, ake, and, art, ation, a. There are 2 units that start with the letter C. Those are can and cent. We have 9 E units that start with E, and those are ed, e, l, n, end, ent, s, est. Our I units, we also have 9. Ik, ite, ike, il, im, ing, ip, ish, and ist. The O units, like the A, we have 10 of them. So let's see if I can remember them all. O, ok, oi, old, oo, or, ound, ow, and oi. We have 2 weird 4-letter ones, and they are shun and shun, spelled with an S and once with a T. And our final 2 units are the 2 U units, and So that's your 44 Caldwell units. Giving you a sneak preview there. We're only going a few at a time with each lesson, but those are the 44 sounds that you want to have in your head by the time we're finished many weeks from now. Not several, but many, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do our hookups, which is right ankle over left, right wrist over left. Link your fingers together, bring them into your sternum, which is your chest bone. And I need to relax after that vigorous cross crawling there. And then we're going to switch, left ankle over right, left wrist over right, and again bring your hands in. It's a nice way to wind down. By the way, this can be done sitting down. I'm not going to do them sitting down today because then Jerry has to move his camera around more, but eventually we'll just do them sitting down so that those of you who are at home or have trouble staying on your feet can do them sitting down, which I hope you're doing today anyhow. And relax. Think of the large, giant letter X in your mind. Make it in color, all decorated for Christmas, whatever. Think of the letter X for a second. And now we're going to show you something to kind of give you an idea of how the power of the 2 programs, the Caldwell program and the Instant Words. I did a little homework during the last couple of weeks. We're going to go back. Jane's going to put on here the song I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, which we started with several weeks ago. And I want to explain what all these little markings are. If you could move it down to the top, that'd be great. Okay. All right. Let me get out my pointer. Here's the title. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. If a word is underlined, it's one of the instant words. If it has a circle around it, that's one of the Caldwell units. All right? So take a look. In the title alone, everything except lone is an instant word. So if you know that this is the first 300 instant words, by the way, not just the first 100. I told you earlier the first 100 words gives you 50%. The first 300, which we're going to shoot for, will give you 65% of every word you see on paper, okay, or anywhere. So if you know your instant words well, you've got all that. Hank Williams, of course, was the author. Hank has an and an ill. Those are both Caldwell units, all right? Look at this line. Did you hear that lonesome whippoorwill? He sounds too blue to fly. Blue is not an instant word, and lone is not. Everything else, if you know the Caldwell units and you know the instant words, you should be able to figure it out pretty well. Did you hear that some? I underlined some because lonesome's a compound word. Some is an instant word. Now whippoorwill would be a great spelling word, but look at it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 of the units in it. So you got whip, poor, will. That's how the Caldwell program helps you figure out some of the larger words. If you know what the units sound like, you know you got a W there, so it has to be whip. And this is kind of confusing because we actually have two units connected together. We have the oo and the or. In this case, it becomes or, and there's your W with an ill will. All right. Ound is one of the units we're going to be doing today. So there's the whole word sounds, everything else. So I'm not going to go line, but just take a look through all the lines. Almost everything in this song, which is real life grown-up reading. It's not, it's not a beginning reading. It's a grown-up. Songs are written for grown-ups. Almost the whole song is there for you. Now, craw is not anything, but there, crawl is a word by itself. But ing, there's our ing unit, which we looked at last week. But just if you go ahead and just slide it up a little bit, Jane, well, and everybody can see almost the whole thing. Now, robin is neither. It's not an instant word, and it doesn't have any units in it. Purple, it's one of the primary colors, but it's not. And sky is not, or cry. But these are three-letter words. They're just words that you just learn. So to me, that's the power of the program. Let's go ahead and switch to the next song we did, was Let the Rest of the World Go By, and you'll see again. Okay, look at the title. The whole thing. It's either has a unit in it or it's an instant word. Let the rest of the world go by. This is one of our units. That's one too. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do this. But that's okay. First line. With someone. Now, some and one are separate instant words, but I just went ahead and linked them together. The only words that aren't pal and true. Again, the majority of the whole song is almost all covered. There's a few words, and if you're learning to read, I hope you have someone who can help you along with that kind of thing. Or if you have a computer and you know how to get on dictionary.com and your computer has audio audio to it, you can go to dictionary.com, and many of the dictionary sites actually pronounce the word for you now. So, beneath and build, just a few here and there, but most of the song, again, that song is an old standard written many years ago. People know it all over the world, sing it all over the world. So, and today's song, Scotland the Brave. Now the Scots, of course, they have their own words and things. But again, we have a lot of stuff we can do. Land is a unit. The brave was not an instant word. Hark, well, that's an archaic term anyhow. But again, look at most of the line. Almost the whole thing except for pipes. Loudly and proudly. Through. Now, though, without an R is an instant word, but through is not. It's not one of the first 300. But again, you can see the power of the units and the instant words is going to really help you to start figuring out how to read on your own once you get some of that stuff in your head. Okay? All right. Let's get started with lesson 3. And I just need the whiteboard for this. And camera on the whiteboard. Okay. Oh, can I see the book a minute? Oh, that's okay. Where's my, can I have that white binder over there? Thanks. I forgot to get the, thanks. Quick review. Lesson 1, we had the single letters M and R and the units L, N, and A. Is that showing up pretty well? Yeah. Lesson 2, we had letter S. We also had a blend, SM, that they didn't use. And then we had the units ake and ing. Today we've got the letter W, and we're going to have another blend, SW, and our new units are ent and ound. All right, so let's see what we can do with a couple of those. Ent. Well, M-E-N-T sounds like the word meant, but we need another letter in there. But is rent a word? Yep. Okay. Is sent a word? Yes. Is sment? No. How about swent? No again. How about went? Yeah, so there's a bunch of words we can build just with what we have. Okay? If we take our, let's go ahead and do ound first. Is wound a word? Yes. How about sound? Yes again. How about mound? Yes again. We're 3 for 3. Are we 4 for 4? Yes, we are. So you got 4 words there just with the ound sound. Our first 4-letter unit, there's only a few of the units that have 4 letters, by the way. And this is one that gave a lot of my kids trouble over the years. I don't know why. I think the U is what throws them off. But just remember, O-U-N-D is ound, except for a very few cases. So let's take our W. Is whale a word? Yes. Wan or wan, we said yes. Is way a word? Yes. Is wake? Yes. Is wing? Yes. So we've got a whole bunch of other words, just with the W. Okay, so we're going to look at lesson 3 now, a little story called Whaling Ray. Jane's going to put it up on the Elmo for us, and we'll go through it. And we're probably going to have to shrink that picture down a little bit, I think. Yeah, you're going to have to shrink. Let's take a look at our Mr. Elmo here. Okay, give him the title, if you would, on the other page. There we go. Okay, so there's Whaling Ray. Can we straighten it up a little? There's Whaling Ray. And there you see the ale and the ing and the a. Okay, next page. All right, if we can move him up. You can see the picture, but we're more concerned with the print, so let's move that up a little bit. So, Ray went to sing to May, the sail maker. Now notice here they've got the ake unit and they stuck the R on the end. All right. Ray rings to wake May. Next page. Okay, again, I'm going to shrink it down, let them see the picture. You can see up there, I need to move it down a little bit. You got the ring sound here, and May's kind of waking up. Wow, whoosh, ha, mumble, mumble. Now go ahead and move it up. May says, and we really should pronounce that says, but we don't. May says, is Ray singing? What does May hear that she thinks is Ray singing? If you look back at the picture, it's her alarm clock, or it might be the doorbell. Okay, next page. Ray sings to wake May. Again, we're just putting units with letters. Next page. Okay. Pull it down so they can see the little picture. And there's May waking up. I'm going to try to make this a little bigger, the words. Could you slide it up some? Okay. May says, is Ray wailing? May wakes to the sound, there's our new unit, ound, of Ray's singing. Double unit, double ing there for the word singing. Okay. Question 2, what does May hear that she thinks is Ray crying? Well, Ray wouldn't like to know, but he's singing and she thinks he's crying. Will May's mistakes make Ray proud of his singing? Probably not. Next page. Okay. So we've changed scene here. Suddenly they're at the beach. Okay, and Ray's got some kind of contraption on there. Go ahead and slide the print up. Get this out of the way. Okay. Make that a little larger. Oops. Okay. May makes Ray wing sails with, that's one of our sight words, rings in. May went to the, now here's our unit, ound. If we put an S in front, we have to have sound with Ray. Now in this case, a sound is a place. It's not a thing that you hear. Like Long Island Sound is a place off of Long Island in New York. Ray ran into. By the way, I forgot to tell you the sight words for this lesson. They are to and into. The sound with the sails. What kind of sails did May make for Ray? Let's look back up. She made him wing sails with rings. Would you like to have some wing sails? You can answer that one for yourself. Here's the picture. Ray's flying to the railroad station. Okay, get the print. Can we straighten it? Okay, thanks. Ray sails to the, here's a compound word, railway in the sound. How did Ray get to the railway? He sails. Next page. I think that's the last one. Now we'll change the scene again. Suddenly May's on a swing. Ray's flying around and May's on the swing there. Let's see what the text is. May ran to the swing. Here's that SW, that SW blend there that we had, I showed you when I was writing on the board. Swing is swing. Ray sails to May in the swing. May is she sailing, swinging, or wailing? Well, if you answered swinging, you got it. And I think that's the last page of that. Turn it. Oh, no, it's not. 2 more pages. Okay, so there's Ray pushing May on the swing. New word. Ray makes May sw and a. It gives you sway in the swing. May sings in the swaying swing. Is May upset when Ray makes her sway in the swing, and how do you know? Well, what's she doing? She's singing. I don't think she's upset. Now Ray's in the swing, and May's pushing him. Singing Ray swings. May makes Ray sway in the swing. Ray wails. Could you slide that picture down again for a second? And he's singing O Sole Mio. Slide it back up. It's a little story about this picture that Ed Caldwell told me. The picture is actually wrong. He said, is Ray upset when May makes him sway in the swing? It's actually supposed to be, yes, he is upset. But when the guy drew it, he drew him singing the song. So the answer would really be, he's not. He's singing O Sole Mio and says, how do you know? So the text didn't really match what Ed wanted there, but it's okay. The main thing is to get all the words. All right? Is that it? Okay. So there's our lesson. Oh. Before we go to the next part, I need to backtrack and give you the sight words. I skipped one. Lesson 1, we had in and the. I'm sorry, I had is and the. Is and the. Lesson 2, we had in and with. And lesson 3, into, of, and to. So those are, we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 sight words now. And all of those are also instant words. So now it's time for the little practice. So Jane's going to ask me questions. I'm going to put answers up here on the board. Okay. Am I correct on that? We're at the practice? Mm-hmm. Yes. Caldwell lesson 3 from the book. Practice number 3 on the Elmo. Okay, let me get some numbers here. I want to write these pretty large.
That's okay. I can zoom up.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to put. And at home, if you have paper and pencil, you can just number it 1 to 20. Because it really is a good idea to have something to write with when we're doing this little show. So you can write right along. Because writing helps you to become a better reader. Oops. Not necessarily a better counter. Okay. Number 1.
Spell scent.
And our units were ent and ound. So there is scent. By the way, there are 3 ways to spell that word, but we'll talk about that later. Number 2.
Change one letter to spell went.
Okay, well, I still have the ent sound, and I want a W sound.
Change one letter to spell rent.
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 Again, I have the ent unit, and I want the sound, which we learned in lesson 1, which is R.
Spell round.
Okay, so look up here, there's my ound unit. And I want the sound, which is R, round.
Change one letter to spell wound.
Okay, I'm only going to change one letter. It's going to be the first letter, and I want the W sound, which is W.
Change one letter to spell mound.
Again, I have the O-U-N-D, ound sound, and I want mound.
Spell swing.
Now that's an old unit. That's the ing unit, which I didn't write up there. I should have it in my head by now. And then when a blend there, that's not just one sound, there's 2 sounds. It's swa, swa, S-W.
Spell swaying.
Okay, I've still got the swa, and I want my A unit, and I want my ing unit, swaying.
Spell into.
Now that's just a sight word. In, to.
Spell of.
Another sight word. Of. Sounds like it should be UV, but it's not. It's OF.
Write the letter of the last sound in round.
Round. D.
Write the letter of the last sound in scent.
Scent. Scent.
Write the letter of the first sound in way.
Way. W.
Write the letter of the first sound in sailing.
Sailing. Sailing.
Write the letter of the middle sound in rake.
Rake. A, K. The middle sound, A, K.
Write a word that rhymes with rent.
Rent is here. We got went and sent. And they rhyme.
Write a word that rhymes with sound.
We got round or wound or mound.
Write a word that rhymes with ring.
Ring. Let's look here. I've got one right there because I got swing, because we're listening for that ending sound for rhymes.
Write the letter of the second sound in went.
Went. W, E, N, T. E. Now that's a short E sound. E.
Write a 2-syllable word from lesson 3.
Okay, and I showed you the easy way to decide number of syllables just by tapping. Sent, went, rent, round, wound, mound, swing, swaying. There's 2 syllables right there. We also have into, of. So we could have picked either swaying or into. And you're going to read tip number 3. It's on the bottom of that page.
Reading tip number 3. Try using colored overlays to screen out bothersome glare. Some people have scotopic sensitivity syndrome, a condition in which normal lighting seems to make the letters move around on the page. Colored overlays can alleviate this problem.
That's a mouthful, scotopic sensitivity syndrome, but some kids and some adults have trouble, especially with fluorescent lighting. So we're going to put the song back up there, and Jane's going to show you, put some overlays. Actually, you're going to have to just unfold them and put it inside to show you the difference in what the print looks like. And you can do your own little eye test here and see if that color is more appealing to you when she gets it on there. Then you may want to just go to Walmart and buy some overlays and do your reading with the overlay laid on top of your whatever you're reading. We have a little glare there in the middle. Sorry about that, but that's because the overlays themselves are shiny. You're not going to get rid of it. It's just going to be there. I'm going to do my color perception test. That's is that blue? I was right?
Yes.
It's either blue or purple. Okay. All right. Here's another one. So I'm red-green blind, and I have a lot of trouble with colors, but fortunately it hasn't held me back too much. Do you have it inside or you have it clear on top?
That's inside.
Okay, so that's pretty dark. I guess that's red. Okay, that's a red one. I had kids in school that really liked the red. I don't know if they just liked the color, if it really helped them or not. I had a kid one year who they really thought he should have the yellow ones all the time, but then as time went on, he didn't seem to need them anymore. But that's yellow, right? Not
Yes.
green, is it?
Yellow.
Okay, yeah. And this one, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe a light green or a tan.
It just looks clear to me.
Huh? It's clear?
It's clear.
Oh, well, I thought it was a little green. Okay. So those are some of the overlays, and they come in all kinds of colors. You can actually, you can go out, you can order them online or from companies. They're very expensive to get, but or you can go to Walmart or Kmart or somewhere and just get the colored paper. Okay. I'm going to backtrack here. I forgot to show you. I have another exercise today for reading. If you notice, our selections now are getting to be 2 and 3 lines. A lot of people have trouble with what's called visual tracking, because when you're reading left to right and then down, left to right, down, left to right, down, all the way down the page. And what a lot of people who have trouble reading do is they jump lines, or else they go back and read the same line. So there's a little exercise you can do. Take a tennis ball or a squishy ball or something, and what you do is this, very simple. You just toss it back and forth, but you follow it with your eyes the whole time. Now I have my little friend here. He really enjoys reading, and he enjoys exercising. But if you notice, I'm tossing him just back and forth, following the whole time with my eyes. Okay? And again, do it for 5 minutes a day, while the commercials are on, whatever. And really only do it if you have trouble with your jumping lines when you're reading. If you don't have trouble with that, then you don't need to worry about it. Okay? So that's a visual tracking exercise. Okay? Now it's time for the instant words. Oh, you've got them on there? I need to get the light. Okay. For the last 2 weeks, we did the first 25. This week, we're going to review them and give you the next 25 because it's time. So going down, I'll give you a second to read it at home, then I'm going to read it. So number 1, the, of, and. Let's make them a little bigger. Are you zooming in, Jerry?
No.
I said we need to make them bigger. Okay, you just slide it down. There we go. Okay, that's about it. So are we out of focus there?
I can zoom in.
Huh?
I can switch back to this camera.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. And I'll get it.
All right. So we're at number 1 there. The, of, and, a, to, in, is, you, that, it, he, was. Watch out for that one. I had kids read that as saw all the time because they're reversing the letters. If it starts with a W, it has to be was. For, on, are, as, with. That's one of our sight words, or one of our sight words from the Caldwell stories, I believe. His, they, I, at, be. You need to move it up a little bit, please. This, have, and from. And I told you to watch out. Make sure you don't say form for that. FR is fra. Okay. Need the next column. Now these are the new ones. It's another 25. Can you cover up the second half of the page there so it's not? So we just have the one there. Just the one stem. That's good. Thank you. Okay. So 26th most popular word, or. And if you were listening when I did the units today, the 44, that's one of them. The number 1, had, by, word, but, not, what, all, were, we, when. Has a silent H there. Looks like when, but it's when. Your, can. That's also a unit, one of our Caldwell units. Said looks like say-id, but it's said. There. This can be pronounced use or use, either way. And there's another one of our units. Each. Very strange looking word. Which. This is the interrogative, not the which that rides the broom. This is the which where you say, which one? Which way? She. Do. How. There again. We have two there's. There here, and this there there. This there, that there means over there. This there means belonging to them. Okay? This is their favorite time of the year. Okay? And there's a third there that we don't have yet. It's T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, which means they are. They're ones we love to give quizzes on at school for kids because it confuses them. And finally, if. So there's your second 25. If you want your own copy of this, they have it down at the Elkins Library. I left it there. They'll make you a copy so you can practice them all at home. I mean, you don't have to stop at the first 50. You can get the sheet and do the first 100 and be ahead of the game. And reading better and better, faster and faster. You can also go online and get these. They're under, if you Google Fry Instant Words, F-R-Y Instant Words. Okay? Now, if we get the single page on there, we'll do the instant or the unit search, please. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Jane's going to put up the single page. It has the whole story on a page, and we'll look for some units. This is the activity that my students at school had the most fun with. They loved this. I was just thinking about it today. I had a girl years ago. Her name was Holly, and I would tell the kids how many units were on a page. We'd search for the units in the songs, and Holly was never happier than when she found a unit that I didn't find. And she'd get, like, you know, I'd give her bonus bucks or a piece of candy or something. But it was, you know, it was a highly motivating thing, and it does help you with your reading. Can we move it down just a little bit, please, so I see the title? Okay. Up a little, right? There's great. Okay. So I'm actually going to tell you, right, S is also a unit. We haven't had it yet, but it is a unit. So here's whaling has ale. Whoops. Ale and ing, and Ray has a. So you can do this again. You can get this sheet at the Elkins-Randolph County Library and do it on your own, but we'll just do a little bit. Ray went. There's our new ent unit. To sing, ing, to may. The sail, there's ale, there's ache, there's a, and ing. To is a sight word. Oh, you actually just need to leave it in the same place. I'm just going to do a little bit of it. Thanks. And then we'll move on. To may. Okay. May says a, ing, ing. Okay, we'll go ahead and do the questions too. What does may, here is not one of our words that she thinks is ray, sing, ing. Okay, ray, ing, ache, a. I'm going to do one more, then we're going to move on. A. And it's important to say the unit while you're circling it or highlighting. My kids loved highlighting them. That's why I used to give them a yellow highlighter, and they'd have a good time with that. Ale, ing, a, ache. Own, that's our new one. A, ing. Okay, and we're going to stop there. You can get, like I said, you can get the sheet. You can do them all and just really reinforce what those units sound like as you're reading. Okay. All right, we have actually already done that. Well, we'll do a couple make-a-word things. I'm going to switch the Elmo off again here. And we'll do our make-a-word activity just for a minute. So we have two new units. Ent and ound. I'm going to set it up like this today. Now you can write the alphabet down over here or just do it from your head. I'm going to just do it A. Ant. B. Bent. Is that a word? Yeah. C. Scent. Yeah. D. Dent. Yeah. E. Eant. No. F. Fent. I don't think so. G. Gent, no, but gent would be short for gentleman. H, hent, I don't think so. I, no. J, no. K, Kent, can be a guy's name. So that's some of the ent ones. Ound, I'm just going to do a few. Okay, aound, no. B, bound, yes. C, no. D, downed, I don't think so. E, no. Found, is that a word? I think it is. Gowned, hound. We're going to be reading later on one of the stories. It's one of my favorites called Hick the Bounding Hound. It's about a frisky little dog who gets in all kinds of trouble. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and so forth. All right? But you can just make up words, just going through your alphabet. Okay? So that's our make a word thing. All right. And we'll do a little writing now. If we can get the song back up there, please. I'll put the Elmo back on. The Scotland the Brave, thank you. Okay, can we straighten it up there? Thanks. And bring it down. That's good right there. Now, the last couple of weeks I have done cursive, and you can do that or you can print. I think today I'll just print. So you can just go right underneath it. It's kind of hard with the shadow here, but just copy along. Although I don't make the A that way. I guess I should. They have an A like this. But just practicing your letters, again, makes you a better reader. My spaces are kind of running together because it's a thick marker. Need the comma there. Not a very good A. And nobody's going to check your handwriting, but the main thing is you're getting the letters and the sounds in your head. Okay, let's do the second line in cursive just for fun. All right, here we go. And I haven't put it down in the library yet, but I am going to get a sheet of cursive lettering, and I'll have that there for you too. I just have to contact a friend of mine at Elkins Middle School. She has a nice guide sheet that her kids use there. There we go. So there's a little writing. Again, you can pick up a copy of the song at the library and practice all you want. Probably more important just to practice reading it, but writing helps to get it into your head too. Okay. Okay. Then we'll skip the real life reading till the next one then, and we'll go ahead and do the song. So I'm going to erase my scrawly stuff here. And we'll finish out as usual with the song that we started with, Scotland the Brave. You can sing along, talk along, read along at home. And until the next time, have fun reading. Hark, when the night is falling, hear the pipes are calling, loudly and proudly calling down through the glen. There where the hills are sleeping now, feel the blood a-leaping high as the spirit of the old Highland men. Towering in gallant fame, Scotland, my mountain hame, high may your proud standards gloriously wave. Land of my high endeavor, land of the shining river, land of my heart forever, Scotland the brave. High in the misty highlands, out by the purple islands, brave are the hearts that beat beneath Scottish skies. Wild are the winds that meet you, staunch are the friends that greet you, kind is the love that shines from fair maidens' eyes. Chorus, slide it down. Towering in gallant fame, Scotland, my mountain hame, high may your proud standards gloriously wave.